Jags, they're not coming home yet. They're going to stay over there in England. But as you pointed out, different stadium next week. So they're going to play. They played in Wembley today in their win over the Falcons. And then the Bills, who just ran it up a little bit, that big number against the Dolphins, they've got to fly over. Now, it's not like, remember Seattle went to Germany last year? You're going halfway across the world.
Yes.
Right? It's Orchard Park. So it's not as big a jump across the pond that other teams might have to make. But still, it feels like a built-in advantage a little bit to me from the Jags. Different stadium, so it's not the exact same thing. But they are the home team. Like, legitimately, it feels like the Jags have a bit of an advantage because they're just chilling right now in England, and the Bills are probably figuring out what time we're hopping on flights and getting over there.
Right.
How does that affect your handicap?
Well, and the stadium they're going to be in is just right across London and Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. They were in Wembley today in that 23-7 win over Atlanta, and they led throughout, and I had laid it the 3 with Jacksonville, but if you look at the numbers, not overly impressive, just Atlanta -3 in the turnovers. I think it was kind of how shaky Atlanta was versus how good Jacksonville was, and they weren't that good, and it just seems, Dave, that the offense is a little shaky. They didn't run the ball great today, 3.3 yards a carry. Lawrence, no turnovers, he's crisp, but not a lot of huge plays, 23 of 30 for 195 today. So this offense still, because a lot was expected out of this offense with the addition of Ridley, who did have a touchdown today. But one of the touchdowns was they actually only scored 2 touchdowns. The one touchdown pass of Ridley in the first half and then an interception return late in the second quarter. But Jacksonville, look, they got to 2-2, but they have not looked impressive. Everybody thought, oh, man, this Jacksonville team, they're going to run away with the AFC South, and not so. And now you get the Bills who are traveling over. But the Bills, of course, because of the fact that they waxed Miami, who scored 70, who everybody thought, oh, this Miami team, man, they're the best team in the league. And it just varies week to week because I saw I saw on the Twitter machine, I think it was one of the ESPN commentators. I think it might have been RG3. Every single week, it's like, okay, jump to conclusion. Man, the Bills are the best team. And last week it was the Dolphins, and then the one week it's the 49ers. It always changes, and we overreact to results week by week because that's just what we do in the NFL. That's just how it is, especially in the media world. And so now you're going to get movement on the Bills. I think they were 4-point favorites. Now you're seeing as 5.5 in the market. So, and I've been on the Bills the last couple of weeks. They've been my best bets, against the Raiders, against the Commanders, and now just against Miami, which we saw earlier today. But now that's the thing you have to do at the NFL. You have to buy low and you have to sell high, and you have to kind of do that on a week-to-week basis. Now it seems like maybe it's going to be the spot to sell Buffalo because I think this is going to keep going up because Jacksonville has not had that breakout performance, and now they're starting to get doubt. I don't know how high this goes. I think maybe 5.5. At 6, I'm sure you would see buyback on Jacksonville if it reaches that point.
And we know now the total there, as you mentioned, is a little bit of an uptick from 47.5 up to 48.
Yeah.
We talk about primetime unders a lot, and they've been pretty profitable again so far at the beginning of the year. Do you look at these games over in England? Now, they're not primetime, obviously, because they're the middle of the morning for us here in the stateside. But do you look at them differently because of the time that they're playing? Or is it a completely individual handicap that would not necessarily be like, okay, we got an England handicap versus a primetime handicap versus 1 o'clock starts for West Coast teams, that we always break up these different categories?
Yeah, it's a little bit more individual, even though we did have an under today, but who've really done well over there in these international series games. Now, that includes Germany as well and Mexico. Favorites all time, by the way, and add Jacksonville to the ledger today. Now 30 wins, 9 losses, and 1 push. So 30-9-1 straight up, and 26-14 against the number in these international series games. So that wouldn't qualify for Jacksonville, though, this week. That would qualify for Buffalo. But I would be looking to take Jacksonville, but I want to see how high this number is going to go.
I kind of feel the same way along that. You would feel like Jacksonville probably is going to get an inflated price. You're going to get the better of the number here. Especially, I'm with you. I think the number will go up because I think people will get infatuated with what they saw today with the Bills over the Dolphins, as you mentioned.
Go to VSiN.com/subscribe to become a VSiN Pro subscriber today.